Hello. You want some chocolate? So yeah, it's Halloween again. And you know what's great about Halloween? Scary things. And you know what's scary? White people wearing suits. In the woods. There is one person, however, that trumps all of them. Close shot mannequin number 49, aka Slender Man. And they made a game based on him. For those who don't know or forgot who he is, and I don't blame you, it's been so long, Slenderman is a fictional horror character created by Eric Knudsen on the Something Awful forum in 2009, which means he was made 16 years ago. If he was a real person, that would now make him old enough to buy a lottery ticket and open a savings account in Ireland. He dresses up in a black suit and his whole shtick is that he stalks and abducts people. He's a tall and skinny figure, as his name implies, and he can stretch his limbs and tentacles to catch people. It wasn't until the early 2010s when he started to become a popular, if not infamous figure on the internet, mostly thanks to his appearance in the YouTube series Marble Hornets, which he was known as the operator in it. However, this wasn't my first exposure to the character. That would be the 2012 video game Slender, the 8 Pages. Slender, the 8 Pages was created by Mark J. Hadley and his one-man production company, Parsec Productions, using the Unity engine. You control an unnamed individual in first person who somehow gets lost in the middle of the woods at night and must collect 8 pages, all while being chased by Slenderman, and you must collect them all before he catches you. This game came out during the boom of the Let's Play channel era on YouTube.
Look at all the jam! That's some toast. Let me toast up my jam.
Horror games were the most popular genre at the time, largely thanks to the funny reactions from YouTubers like PewDiePie and Markiplier whenever they get jump scared. Slender, the 8 Pages was by far the most popular horror game among the many that existed around the time, maybe with the exception of Amnesia and Five Nights at Freddy's. If there's one thing that horror games like to do all the time, it's got to be jump scares. Man, jump scares are so annoying when it comes to anything horror related. Like, it's just so cheap, you know? What? We're expecting a jump scare? Don't worry, you will get one, but I won't tell you when it'll happen, so brace yourself. So let's grab our flashlights and head into the woods today, because the teddy bears are having their picnic. Alright, the first thing we see is a dirt road and trees. But where's Jeff Bezos? In all seriousness, going back to this game after so many years and seeing these visuals makes me feel all sorts of things. For a game made by one guy back in 2012, I'm impressed with the simplicity of it all. Sometimes games don't need to look like I'm looking at myself in the mirror with how realistic it looks. There's an element of charm in that sense when it comes to the visuals. Like I said, there are lots of trees and dirt roads, but that's not all. Otherwise this game would be more boring to look at than Transformers The Last Night.
Free at last! Thank Megatron, I'm free at last! Zeus!
You have the house, the oil tanks, the silo, the trio of rocks, the crosswall, the tunnel, the wrecked truck, the trailer, the caravan, and the dead tree. These landmarks are the locations that have the pages in. Obviously there are 10 landmarks and only 8 pages to collect, so if you do some quick maths, that means 2 won't have any. Even when there is a page in a landmark, it's never in exactly the same spot. For example, the page could be placed in 3 different spots, so it does require further exploration of such a location. Never mind looking after 2 babies and a dog as a divorced father, there's nothing more stressful in life than going to a landmark in this game and not finding a page. Honestly, I can't think of anything more stressful than that. Wait, is that a bull running towards me? With needles sticking out of it. And a copy of the Leaving Cert exam timetable. Never mind, I take back what I just said. There's so much atmosphere in this game, and it's down to its simplicity and no-nonsense approach.
Atmosphere!
You don't need an explanation as to why you have to collect pieces of paper to stop some dapper looking gentleman from touching you.
Hey, phrasing!
You just do it because that's the name of the game. There isn't even a word of dialogue spoken. The only form of voice acting we get is from the person you're controlling whenever you sprint for too long. This person starts breathing real heavily, like they're trying to run on a treadmill while wearing flippers. Because of how extremely limited your sprint is in this game, you have to wait every couple of seconds before you can sprint again. There is also the fact that you get a stamina boost every time Slenderman gets too close, which is somewhat realistic since people tend to get that sudden burst of energy during a moment of desperation. Except me, of course, because I'm hard. If I ever see Slenderman in real life, I'd run up to him, put a pair of glasses on him, call him a nerd, and then punch his face so hard that those same glasses will fly off. You have a flashlight that runs out after 15 minutes of use. You can turn it off if you want, but why would you do that? You can barely see anything, and that's the point. Having the flashlight on is a must, and it forces the player to think fast and avoid wasting time. Though if you ask me, it's kinda stupid that this person bought a flashlight from Aldi and batteries from Lidl. I mean, you're just asking for trouble. What about Slenderman himself? When it comes to how he behaves, he's rather unpredictable. There's a video by a guy called Yarakai Games. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. He basically breaks down the AI of Slenderman in this game and how he works. I'll leave a link to the video in the description if you want to check it out. Basically, Slenderman begins to stalk you about 5 minutes into the game, or as soon as you collect the first page. Once you collect the first page, the music begins to play, a drum that bangs every 2 seconds, which sounds like the most depressing atmosphere at a football match of all time. Then for every 2 pages you get, the music ramps up. The more pages you collect, the more likely Slenderman will catch you. Slenderman can pinpoint your location every time you run, so it'd be wise for you not to sprint so often. He never suddenly appears right in front of you, and more often than not, he only appears when you turn around. Static shows up on your screen when you come into contact with him, and the intensity of the static changes depending on how close he is to you. Whenever he suddenly appears, the dramatic dun plays, and that's the game's jump scare moment. When Slenderman catches you, you get a close-up of his face, and he stares at you with his non-existent eyes like an awkward partner unsure whether they should kiss you or not, and then kicks you back to the main menu. When you collect the 8th and final page, the music abruptly stops, and all you can do is walk around, and then boom! Slenderman catches you. You get a close-up shot of his face, and he stares at you with his non-existent eyes like an awkward partner unsure whether they should kiss you or not, and then kicks you back to the main menu. So yeah, it doesn't matter either way. Once you beat the game, you unlock different game modes. There's daytime mode, where you play the game in the middle of the day. There's MB mode, where it looks like you're in a found footage video, like the Marble Hornets ones. And finally, there was the $20 mode, where every time Slenderman appears, the song $20 by Browz plays. Notice how I said was in the last sentence. That's because the mode was removed due to copyright reasons. And also because it's a shit song. Now let me ask you all this. Is the game actually scary? For me, yeah. Kind of. It really depends on a number of factors. One is the time of day you choose to play it. When I played it for the first time in years recently, it was in the middle of the afternoon on a sunny day without a cloud in the sky. You couldn't get any brighter than that. Therefore, playing this game at such a time wasn't really that scary. Ha, see? I told you that jump scare was coming. The second time I played it, it was night time. The only light in my room was coming from my laptop that I was using to play the game. The vibe was completely different compared to when I previously played it during daytime. I was on edge the whole time. Oh, fucking hell. I'm just so bad at this. I admit I'm not the biggest fan of horror games, not only because I'm not good at them, but also because I don't like getting scared in general. I think it's because of this game being so horrifying to me back when I watched all those Let's Players play this game years ago. I even tried it for myself all those years ago on my old family laptop for the first time. The game ran terribly, but that didn't stop me from being scared shitless. Now, playing it for myself recently, it's not as scary as I thought it'd be. Every time I get caught, I'm more so annoyed or frustrated than scared. In spite of that, however, it's still a decent horror game all around. It became so popular that a sequel came out 9 months later called Slender The Arrival, co-developed by Parsec Productions and Blue Isle Studios. I haven't played it, but I have seen others who did. It's a lot more in-depth and it has an actual story in it. So yeah, in the end, Slender the 8 Pages is a solid horror game, and I'd recommend you all check it out this Halloween. Now, if you excuse me, I have to start studying for the leaving cert. That bull from earlier said that I have to study or else he'll inject me with his needles. Like a coward, I accepted his terms. You know what? I'd rather just inject myself with the needles.